Seems like Summer's gonna have to be sitting this one out for a little bit. Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we defeated the gym leader of Sootopolis City, Juan, who is hot and also offered to take off his clothes after being defeated, so... oh boy, maybe he doesn't realize the playable character in this game is 11 years old. Anyway, this time, we're going to be heading back to Moss Deep City so we can head to the south and then to the east. I'm not going to mess it up this time. North, south, east, west. It goes upside down 4. I get it this time. To Ever Grande City, or Ever Grande City. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's pronounced differently in so many different languages. Like, in American English, you see grand spelled that way and it's still pronounced grand, and then in French, that's how you say, like, large, and that's pronounced grand. And then in Spanish, it's grande, but I guess it has the accent over the E, probably. I could just be talking out of my, stupid brain, but as far as I remember from Spanish, that's how it works. I'm taking French now, though. Anyway, that's completely unrelated to the game at hand. We're nearing the end of this series. We are heading toward the final area of the game, or at least the main story. And because of that, I would just like to say that when I finish this game, I will not be going directly into the post-game like I did with... well, I guess I didn't do it with any of my Pokemon LPs, because I didn't do it with Soul Silver. But, this is mostly because... you probably noticed if you check my playlist for any of my Pokemon games, my Pokemon LPs always take a really long time, and like this has taken longer than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that game is like 200 hours long, so yeah, there might be something to be said about that. Pokemon is my favorite franchise, but it just takes so long for me to finish Let's Plays because I put more editing into Pokemon Let's Plays than any of my other ones, just because for so long I've been trying to just mimic the way Chugga Conroy does Let's Plays, like doing bios and having graphics for bosses and stuff, and that takes up a lot more extra time in production than you would think, just because, I mean, I'm just not great at that. I have what I consider to be an ideal setup for making bios and stuff, but even with that quote-unquote ideal setup, it's still not easy for me, just because it takes so long and I just don't have the amount of time I would like to do so, because I'm always trying to get things recorded and edited like in bulk so I have enough to keep uploading consistently, because my thing for the past, I think probably almost 2 years now, has been at least one video every 2 weeks, and ever since then, I've been keeping that promise consistently, with more than one video a week, usually. But it can get real overwhelming sometimes, because, especially with Pokemon LPs, just because of how much goes into them compared to my other ones. So, rest assured, it's going to be a few LPs until we see the next Pokemon one, and Pokemon Emerald's postgame, like Fire Red's, may just never come, because I'm not doing Fire Red's postgame. I already redid the last few episodes of that series, and I'm not planning on going back just because Fire Red is boring to me. And Pokemon Emerald's postgame, despite what people say about it, really isn't anything that special. Just because, I don't know, there's one really cool thing that I and mostly everybody else in the entire world wants them to bring back for a game, but it doesn't make this post-game good to me. It just gives you something to do, which is good. That's what a post-game is meant to do. But, I don't know. Pokemon Emerald's post-game just isn't really worth jumping right into, because other than the thing everybody knows about it, we'd just be going around and catching legendary Pokemon. We catch Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre, which we can technically go do that right now. You're able to go catch Rayquaza as soon as you beat Juan, I believe. But I just don't want to. I don't know, it's just... It takes so long to catch legendaries. If you've watched any Pokemon LP, you know how long it can take when you aren't using your Master Ball, and in the post-game, there is one legendary that I would save the Master Ball for, besides Rayquaza, Groudon, and Kyogre. So, yeah. It'll be a while, if ever, which kind of makes bios and stuff obsolete for the main series, but, I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna heal up, and, well, I guess I'll just keep showing what's happening, because we're in the last city. Let's talk to everybody. Ever Grande City. Hey all, Scott here. Winter, you've clawed your way up to face the Pokemon League. I'm happy for you. You made my cheering worthwhile. Winter, if you were to become the Pokemon League champion, I'll get in touch with you then. Okay, Winter, go for greatness. See, that's why I won't be doing the post-game, because that means Scott is going to contact me. The Pokemon League is only a short distance after the Victory Road. If you've come this far, what choice do you have but to keep going? The long and harrowing Victory Road! It's like reliving the path one has traveled in life. Believe in your Pokemon and give it your very best. Thanks, old guy without a name. I'm gonna go ahead and get Summer back. We literally only brought a cool tent so we could use Waterfall, and if I find out you need Waterfall to complete this area, I'm going to be very upset. Because that means we'll have to leave Victory Road and then come back. And if you've played a Pokemon game, oh boy, Victory Road can be a frustrating experience. Let me check if we can fly back to here now that we've been in the Pokemon Center. I can't remember. We can. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go to somewhere else just so I can buy more repels because, oh boy, Victory Road has a lot of wild Pokemon. I haven't even shown the entrance of the cave yet, and I'm already telling you that. Moss Deep. Unfortunately, you can only buy max repels here in Moss Deep City, which is a shame because super repels are significantly more cost-effective, but I'm honestly just not willing to go somewhere else right now. Entering Victory Road. Victory Road is a new kind of challenge, to say the least. There are very strong trainers in here, the strongest wild Pokemon in the game, which is good because we're definitely going to need to do some grinding. One of our Pokemon isn't even in its final stage yet. And yeah, there's just a lot here to be afraid of. There are new encounters here. Hi, Winter. I bet you're surprised to see me here. I made it all the way here, and it's all thanks to you. Winter, losing to you that one time made me stronger. But I'm not going to lose anymore. I'm going to win for the Pokemon who gave me courage and strength. Okay, here I come. Yeah, this is why we aren't going over them right away. Believe me, the editing that is going to go into this battle sucks, because this is not the music that played originally. This is a remix of his final battle theme from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I will put the person who made it on screen right now. They don't make Pokemon remixes anymore. But the second I heard this, I knew I had to use it for the LP. They've given permission for anyone to use it for free, and I could not do it. I'm going to do my best to add, like, sound effects for moves, maybe. We'll see. Either way, I did want to show this music because it's a shame this was not in the original release. His battle theme for real is just the original battle theme from the game. Anyway, Wally's going to lead with Altaria, level 44, Dragon Flying type, natural cure for the ability, known the moves Aerial Ace, Safeguard, Dragon Breath, and Dragon Dance. I guess Rock Tomb for super effective damage. That Safeguard makes it so it and its team cannot be affected by status conditions like poison or paralysis. I guess lowering its speed is really the best I can do. It can't do any even normally effective damage to Ingo, which is a good reason to lead with him. The only other reason I led with him is because he has to evolve soon, because he's not going to be continuing to hold up his Alaron for that long anymore. There it goes with the Dragon Dances. That'll only really affect its Aerial Ace, but any amount of attack raise on something like that, I don't like. Okay. He's doing what Winona failed to do when we fought her. Okay, let's go Double Edge, see if it does more than Rock Tomb. Probably will. No, it did about the same. Alright. let's go for Rock Tomb again. Dragon Breath, that is not affected by Dragon Dance at all, so... The only really thing threatening about that Dragon Breath to Ingo is that it has a chance to paralyze, and even that won't matter that much. There goes Altaria. That's a lot of experience. Okay, he's about to use Roselia. Let's go for Jet. His Roselia is level 44, Grass Poison type. Poison point for the ability, knowing the moves Magical Leaf, Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Toxic. I'm gonna go right for Fly. Hopefully we're too fast for it to actually get anything off. It can't use Leech Seed if we're in the air. And it might not even affect flying types because it said evaded the attack instead of avoided. Either way, we take it down one hit with Fly because Roselia is really weak defensively. Magneton, okay. Summer. Magneton. It's level 41, Steel Electric type. Magnet pull for the ability, so Steel types cannot switch out against it. Knowing the moves Supersonic, Thunderbolt, Tri-Attack, and Screech. Thunderbolt's the only really threatening move it has because its attack stat isn't great. I don't know why I went for Blaze Kick. I'm probably going to end up switching out after this anyway, but whatever. It's still one hit KO. 1414, that's almost a Star Wars reference. So going for Gardevoir. Ingo, you are perfect for this. Ingo is really good against Wally's Gardevoir and his Altaria, which is surprising. Gardevoir is level 45, Psychic type, Psychic Fairy in the remake. Even though he doesn't have a Gardevoir, he has a Glade. Synchronize for the ability, so if you get a status condition on it, it will do the same to you. Knowing the moves Double Team, Calm Mind, Psychic, and Future Sight. Let's go Double Edge. We don't really have to worry about Rock Tomb getting stabbed, so Double Edge will just basically do more damage no matter what. And since we don't have to deal with recoil, that's good. Unfortunately, Future Sight, despite being a Psychic type move, does question mark type damage when it actually hits in this generation. So that will still probably do a lot to Ingo, and I'm going to go ahead and heal him because I don't trust it not to knock him out. Okay, there's Psychic. That won't do too much, hopefully. Ooh. That wasn't even a critical hit? Man, that just goes to show you how powerful Gardevoir is. Jesus! I said Gardevoir was good earlier, but I did not expect it to do that to me for complimenting it. Okay. Let's go Appa. That could have been taken wrong. Whatever. Let's go Shadow Ball. And we missed? What? Wait, how did we miss? Did it use Double Team and I just wasn't paying attention? How many times did it use Double Team? We've missed Double Edge and Shadow Ball. Oh my god! Wally, dude, chill, Jesus Christ! Okay. I see that you are a threat now, Wally. I see it with my own eyes. Jet is gonna take Future Sight and it failed. How did... Okay. Facade, that'll get more damage because of the Silk Scarf that I forgot Jet was holding. It's gonna go right for another Future Sight. That's great. We appear to be faster, so let's go for Fly. It's going to miss Psychic. How much will Fly do? Knocks out. Good. Finally. I was worried for a moment. 2005 EXP, that's the year that Pokemon XD released. Delcatty. Summer. Wally's final Pokemon is Delcatty, level 43, normal type, cute charm for the ability, knowing the moves Sing, Assist, Charm, and Feint Attack. Assist is the only really cool move it has. It makes it so it uses one of its team members' moves, so it could, for example, use Gardevoir's Psychic or Roselia's Leech Seed. Luckily, it didn't get to use any moves at all, so... Wow, Winter, you're strong after all. I couldn't beat you today, Winter, but one of these days, I'll catch up to you. I look forward to it, buddy, because you have a really good battle theme that isn't in this game. From this point on, Victory Road is really long, and it has a ton of battles, so if you want to see the way through, watch the corner of the bios, and then the screen when the bios are done, because I don't think they'll take the entire time. I am going to be speeding up through Victory Road, which is a debatably good decision. I'm going to be playing Victory Road's theme from Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire followed by Emerald, the same thing I did for Route 113. But past that, here are the new bios for Victory Road. Starting off in Victory Road, we have the evolution of Whismur, Loudred. Loudred has normal type stats. It isn't particularly great at anything, it's not particularly bad at anything. As with most normal types, it gets a very good variety in the moves it can learn. It can learn, for example, Hyper Voice. I don't know if that's even a move in this generation, but it can learn it. Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, that kind of thing. And normal types generally can learn moves from every single type. So, same thing goes for its evolution Explode, except it has higher stats. It has surprisingly good special attack for a normal type, especially up to this point when normal types were almost always physical attackers, so yeah, if you're looking for a normal type for some reason, and you don't have one yet, even though you could have caught a Whismur much earlier, Loudred might be what you're looking for so you can evolve it into Explode. Next is Hariyama. Hariyama has the unique thing that it is easier to catch than Makuhita for some reason. It has a higher catch rate than its pre-evolved form. But other than that, it's a bulky fighting type, but only bulky in the sense that it has high HP. It can also hit pretty hard with physical attacks, and it gets a unique move called Smelling Salts. Smelling Salts does more damage to the opponent if it's paralyzed, but it also cures it of paralysis. So if that sounds interesting to you and you have a Pokemon that can paralyze, Hariyama could very well fit in with your team if you don't already have a fighting type. And even if you do, if you're okay with having more than one Pokemon of any given type, go for it. Next is Medicham. We went over Metatype back at Mount Pyre only like 10 episodes ago, maybe exactly. Maybe not, but Medicham is a little weird. It has defense stats and attack stats, but its attacking stats are mixed. Which goes really well with the fact that it's a fighting psychic type. However, Pure Power for an ability still does double its attack stat, so it is better as a fighting type. I have never known why Pure Power is an ability that exists. Why not just give it a higher attack stat? But it doesn't really matter. Again, if you're looking for a fighting type or a psychic type on your team and you still have a free slot, Medicham can fill that void, especially if you're missing both a fighting and psychic type. But yeah, it'll be hitting really hard with fighting type moves and physical moves in general, and hitting kinda hard with psychic moves. Graveler is the evolved form of Geodude. I can't believe we're only just now seeing it. Graveler's good at exploding, similar to Wheezing, except it actually has a higher attack stat than Coughing, and when it evolves into Golem through trading, so you have to have a friend to get its final evolution, it can explode really hard and kill a lot of things really quickly. I used a Golem in Pokemon Fire Red, and it served well, even though I'm not sure if I ever even taught it Explosion or Self-Destruct or anything. But yeah, Golem and Graveler both are very good. So Graveler's actually usable even if you don't trade it with a friend. It's just not as good as it could possibly be. That's all I really have to say about it, though. Other than that, Golem and Graveler are both pretty good. During the speed-up section, Ingo evolved into Aggron. I hate to make this be in a separate category like this. I feel like it's kind of depressing for a Pokemon that's on our team like Ingo. But I really just don't want to stop the speed up for that. This video is already taking forever to edit just because of the nature of the way I'm doing Victory Road, so yeah. Aggron has extremely high attack and extremely high defense, but other than that, its stats are mediocre for the most part. It obviously gets powerful moves like Iron Tail, Rockhead. Rockhead is not a move. Okay. Iron Tail, Rock Slide, if you can find the TM for it, Earthquake, which we already have on Lairon thanks to the TM we got in the Cave of Origin. Just moves like that. It can also learn a surprising amount of special moves, and while its special attack is only 60, I guess that's okay to just pad out its moveset if you want to get rid of a move on it. Like usual, I'm going to be keeping Metal Claw and Rock Tomb on Lairon, and obviously by extension Aggron, because it's not going to learn Rock Slide by level up, because for some reason Aggron just doesn't learn any Rock-type moves. You have to teach it through TM. Rock Tomb is the only move that the entire evolution line learns, and we already taught it by TM because we didn't want it on anyone else, so yeah. Unfortunately, kind of a sad note to be ending bios on, but I mean, it's a great Pokemon, it just has a disappointing moveset. Also 6'11", and that's it for bios in this series, so I just want to say, I guess it's technically not it for bios in the series if I do the post-game. But I'm not sure if I will do the post-game, so I just want to leave off the bios saying, I don't like the way these turned out. Now, I've said multiple times, I love the way the graphics turned out. I think they look good, but it feels like a lot of the time I'm really just talking out of my ass about what these Pokemon can and cannot do, and sometimes I just give them, it can do this, because I haven't used them. So, Pokemon Colosseum and XD are obviously going to be my next two Let's Plays in the Pokemon series, eventually. Those are the last two games where I plan on doing bios for Pokemon, because I'm not very good at it, and since there's so few in Pokemon Colosseum and XD, I'm likely to be able to talk about them for longer, which should give better bios. I was planning originally on making a compilation of every bio I gave in this series, but just because of how not great they are, I've decided against it. Anyway, enjoy the rest of Sped Up Victory Road. I hope this Let's Play has served well. I'm recording this after having already finished the entire series. Oh, also, bosses in the future. We have 5 bosses coming up. None of them will have boss graphics, like we did for every boss up to Wally. This is because, as I said earlier in the episode, it takes a lot of time to make those graphics for me just because of the way my brain doesn't really function correctly a lot of the time, and it just gets a little stressful having to make those all the time. I'll still continue going over boss movesets in every Pokemon LP I do. It's just, you know, I won't have graphics for them because, yeah, it hurts my head to make them. In Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, this is where Wally would fight you. He would ambush you at the end of Victory Road. Luckily, he's a much nicer person in this version. That's also where he fights you in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but it's a much more obvious boss battle room, as you can see on screen right now. Anyway. Here we are. I am going to have to do a ton of grinding off screen. We are about to face the 5 strongest trainers in the entire game, the Elite Four and the Champion. I mean, in the entire main story, not the entire game. There are stronger trainers in the post-game, but... in the next episode of Pokemon Emerald, we reach the beginning of the end. See you guys then.